Iris, hello.
Rachel, how are you?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Good.
Good, good. And Vivian,
Hi.
hi, hi. How
Hi,
are you
hi, and you
doing?
said it correctly. Thank you so much. That's very rare.
Oh, did I get your name right?
You did. 99% of everyone says Vivian. So you got it right.
Yay, yay me. Vivian, welcome, welcome, welcome. How are y'all doing today? Tell me what you would like to talk about, ask about, questions.
I have some questions, but
You have questions?
you were here you're both coaches. Okay, awesome. Very
Iris
cool.
has loads to contribute. She knows the platform, she knows life, she knows all kinds of
Awesome.
things.
Thank
I'm
you. Thank you.
72. I know life, but I don't know the platform.
Well, fortunately, I know the platform, so I can help us out with that piece. And between
Yeah.
us, we'll get the life stuff
So
figured
good
out.
team.
Go
So
ahead.
Good, good.
Tell me what's up.
I'm a slow girl. I did the I always get the P and the M in the wrong order. EPM. I always want to say EMP, like being, not that that matters why. So I did EPM last year. And but among other crazy deadlines and writing two books and blah blah. So I'm slow. I just sent my stuff up the other day to Marina
Mhm.
and and she had a couple responses. So I have some questions to that I'd like to go through, make sure I'm doing the right stuff. What my thing is a 9 week daily course, very short sessions, 4 to 8 minutes on weekdays, 8 to 12 minutes on weekdays. It's a self-care practice development program, hence
Beautiful,
the daily
beautiful.
stuff. It's for teachers because our poor teachers are being beat to death emotionally, time-wise. Um,
Gotcha. Vivian,
and
let me, before I have you
yes,
spend a lot of time, let me just make sure we get what you need out of this and just to kind of give the big picture for any questions about like specifics of the done for you, like
okay,
exactly what she needs or I don't, the order she wants it in or anything like that that's specific about like laying out the pieces of your work. Marina would be the person to give you directions on that because she handles that whole world.
right.
While if there are like pieces about as you're putting it together, you're not sure kind of how to make it work because you need to know how the platform works and makes sense with
Yes.
it. Perfect. Okay. That's what.
That's yeah, but since mine may be kind of weird in construct because it's long and it's daily, so just
Yeah,
that.
yeah, gotcha.
But so my questions are, I mean, I needed the Stripe stuff and she gave me a link and looked through that and that looks pretty self-explanatory to hook that stuff up.
Uh-huh.
But couple of things. In one, um, I I don't have my videos all done yet. That was something I'll be doing in process.
Mhm.
And I thought I needed to make a little placeholder video. And she said, actually, no, because the platform will want to read the video and make its own little doodah out of that. Um, so if there will be a video for each day, so we're talking 63 sessions plus the little welcome video when they get logged in. So if there's not being a placeholder video, how do I get those puppies in there as I'm ready to put them in session by session?
Sure, sure. Super easy. I can do a quick demo of that for you.
So,
And yeah, you'll just upload them straight into step three is where they'll go. I'll show you what that looks like, but that's gonna be really straightforward. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we can take a look at that. Any other platform
yes.
questions?
One other platform question, and that has to do with the certification. And I saw that they have now certificate things, which is
Hmm.
awesome because that already took care of a couple of questions in that respect. But what I wanted to do with them is have an additional level of a certification. And when I had put that in the instructions, Maria says, well, um, let's see. I say, I also wanted to have additional certification of completion and verified introspective participation that would unlock after completing 2 actions. And she said, well, they can trigger certificate completing based on 1 trigger only. So what I wasn't positive on that, if that meant that I cannot have 2 certifications,
You could have
or
two.
I could
You could
have
have
the
two.
2, but that second one can only be done by 1 trigger.
Exactly. You
Each one could
can,
only be. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Technically, you could have as many certificates as you want. Every certificate is an automation that is triggered by a trigger, as you noted. So, if you want a second certification that's triggered by something, you would just have a second automation that's triggered by something. Now,
Okay.
um,
Oh, yeah.
one caveat, I don't know if potentially if Marina was referring to like limits of the done for you package, because maybe what she might have been saying is that the done for you includes like one certificate
Oh,
set
okay.
up
So
for
there might
you.
be
I
something.
don't know if that could have possibly been there, but you can definitely do
Okay.
that.
Well, if yeah, if it's okay, if it's not a that, and so there might be additional fee, fine. But if I can have the 2, one involves a little more than the other. The
Hmm.
trigger for the one with the introspective participation, I would want to have that trigger be a quiz, which would be essentially a feedback form and survey. Since I can't have 2, one a
Sure, you can
feedback,
do that.
so could do that. And would one need to, if in the platformness and the platform language, that usually the one certification has to be the last one? Does the other
You can
come
trigger
before?
any, you can trigger a certificate based on anything you want.
Okay.
So the reason it might need to be the last one is if you wanted the trigger to be completed the course. But if there's a piece first that's getting a different trigger,
Mhm.
then just obviously, logically, you can't have the end of the course come before a quiz if the quiz is part of the course.
Right.
But
Okay.
that's the
So,
only like constraint there. Like you can set up an automation at any time and trigger
okay.
a certificate
So,
from it.
so my little certificate with a cherry on top would need to come before the regular course completion certificate, as in for the little
If the
the
quiz is like considered part of what they need to complete.
the quiz is part of what they need to complete to get the one with the verification. That just will allow for the teacher, student, or leadership, if they need to verify that they really participated and said, "Oh yeah, they went click and got this." Woo.
Got it.
That
Yeah.
could contact me by email and say, "Did they really do this?" Yes, they really did this. It's
Okay.
not
Yeah.
C-
Yeah. So we've just got
it's
kind of
not
two levels. Yeah.
CEUs, but it's a something.
Yeah. I
And
can set that.
okay,
Okay.
so that makes perfect sense.
Cool.
So yeah, so that was that, and that was that, and that's cool. I think that's everything.
Great stuff. Yeah, adding your videos is going to be super easy. And then the certificate question is going to be a little more detailed, but we can
Okay.
go through that. And as I am fixing my screen, let's zoom here. Iris, tell me as I'm just pulling this up, do you have questions going on today and interesting stuff as always? Give me just an overview or tell me what you want today.
Yeah, I actually just joined for a little inspiration because
Cool.
I took a breather the past few weeks and kind of been rethinking my launch for this year. And so I haven't been doing much with XP right now, but I just figured I needed to kind of like anchor myself so I don't drift away too much. So I just
Awesome.
joined for, yeah, just a few minutes. I will be hopping off.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, I just wanted to like tell myself I'm still here. Don't, don't drift out of it because I have this tendency like to start getting excited about new things and I want to stick to the plan that I had this year for XP, which is launch a 3-month course
Okay.
in the fall season. And because that's like kind of what Vivienne is doing with 9 weeks and it's long and it's hefty and it's big and I'm getting those jitters of should I not? And I'm like, no. I made the commitment. So um, even if I don't have any particular questions, I just wanted to kind of like join in.
Oh, this is perfect. Okay, cool. Let's talk about long courses in general then, and all the things and making them work. Um,
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. Thanks, Iris. So this part will be a review for you, Iris, but
Mhm.
never hurts, like you're saying. Vivian, whenever you are ready to add your own training videos,
Mhm.
you'll have logged into your admin account, which will look like
Right.
this. And just for the recording and for a reminder for everybody, you've got your admin account and then you've also got your student account since you're an EPM. So if you're logging in and you're seeing Marisa and the dashboard, that's not the account you want. You actually
Right.
want to log into, this happens a lot. So
That much differentiation I've got. Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna be talking to everybody listening on the recording this too, because this happens all the time. So once you're in the right account and it will look like this, you'll have any published courses, any unpublished courses, and your admin panel over here. And when you're ready to add your videos, you are just going to go to the course that you're going to add them in. We're going to go to my test course here. And we're going to go to step 3. And I'm going to click open course content. And inside step 3, I've got good to think about for a bigger course. We've got these different sections. We've got kind of the core content, which is your modules and trainings. Optionally, you might also have replays. You might also have bonuses. These are tools for you as the course owner
Okay.
to find out more. But
Yeah.
these 3 right here are where all of your content will live. And all of it might live just in the modules and trainings section alone. And you'll see that we have 2 modules here. And over here, we could click to open up a module. And inside the module, we have the trainings. And content will always go into a training.
Okay.
The way it's structured in XP is the module is the parent container. So you don't put a video directly into a module. Inside the module, you have trainings and you will put the video directly into a training. And to do that, we're just going to edit a training. And I can do that by going to this menu over here and edit it. And I'm going to see this screen here. And here is where all of the pieces of my one training are added, starting with the basic info, the media, options for the release timing, the points, and any downloads. And what you're talking about is right here. You're just going to go to media, which is where you're going to add your video for that training. And there's 2 ways you can do this. You can use the media gallery, which means that your video is being hosted on XP directly. So XP stores it and hosts it. And to do that, we would just click choose from gallery.
Okay.
And if it's not already uploaded, which it won't be yet, you would just click upload media and then you'll grab that from your desktop or wherever it is.
Okay.
And once it's in, you could just click on it and it will add it. And you can see right here, if you could see my screen big enough,
Yes.
now it says that there is a video added. And since that's not actually the right video, I'm going to click to remove it. And then my other option is I could host my video on YouTube or Vimeo if for any reason I'd rather do that. And in that case, I just paste what's called a share link. If you go to YouTube or Vimeo, you'll see different links. You'll see an embed code. What you want is just a share link.
Okay.
And that goes right here. Let me know if that's all making sense so far. Feeling
Perfect.
straightforward. Okay,
Yes.
cool. And then, as you may know, you've got other tabs here for release timing. If you needed to add more actions, you
Mhm.
could do that here. And we're going to look at a quiz in a moment. So I'll mention that a quiz probably, though it wouldn't have to, would go inside of a training. So we could set that up
Yeah.
here. We'll talk about that in a sec. And then we also have downloads, just in case you have like a PDF that goes with the lesson or
Yeah,
an
good.
audio MP3.
Right.
So does that all make sense as far as
Yes,
where to add
absolutely.
things? Where to
Yes.
add?
Yes,
Cool.
that's perfect.
Pretty
Thank you.
easy. So that is where you'll go in and do all that when you're ready. And shall we look at certificates or
I would appreciate, yeah,
any
looking at that,
thoughts about
putting
that?
that
Okay.
in there. For the one that yeah, want to have quizzes connected to. Yeah.
Right.
A
Okay.
quiz, I start one quiz, one action.
Totally. Yeah. Okay. So actually, let's think about that first. Let's look at how we would set up the certificate that's based on a quiz. And I'm going to
Yes.
start with actually doing the quiz itself. So we're
Okay.
going to actually build the quiz real quick.
Beautiful.
And again, we could technically do this outside of a lesson, but probably it would be in a lesson.
Yeah.
So let me just go ahead and open up step 3 again. And I'm going to open up module 2. And let's say this was near the end. Here's like a way it could be set up. Let's say this is all your regular content, and then you just have your very last training could be just a quiz only. Let's build it like that,
Okay.
just as an example. So I have created a module. It doesn't have to be in a separate module. That's just how
Okay.
my test is
That's
set up
it
right
there.
here. But to create a quiz, I'm going to edit my training. And I'm going to go to, and the first thing is that my training, if my training was like just a quiz, then I would probably just have some notes or a blurb here to just let people know that
Okay.
and let them know what's happening. And I could even say, take it below or anything like that. And where the quiz is going to live is in actions and points. I'm going to go ahead and delete all these for our example because we're talking about just setting up a training that is just a quiz. All right, so to build my quiz, I'm going to click add for a new training action. And the type of action I want is going to be, it's going to be either essay or multiple choice. And remind me what your quiz actually is.
Okay, well, that is a something because I do want, um, actually, I kind of wanted to have both a multiple choice and essay. So it needs to be
No
one
problem.
of the three. Oh, it can have multiple
We'll just
things
have,
in it.
yeah, we'll just have separate actions. So now we're just getting a touch more complex with setting up your certificate, but it's totally doable. I'm just letting you know we're
Okay.
adding more steps.
Okay. Perfect.
Um,
Because I did want to have some essay questions and multiple choice or.
Gotcha. Okay. If it's okay, let me do a demo with a simpler version so I can take you
Sure.
through the whole steps,
Yes.
and then
Okay.
we'll add the layers on top of that.
Beautiful.
So if I was going to do like the simplest possible quiz leading to a certificate, I'm going to set it up with not a checkbox, a multiple choice action for my quiz. And I'm going to have some answers here. And I'm assuming in this that there's a right answer. You'll notice, just FYI, that you could create a quiz with no right answer if you just want to like take a survey or something. That's just
Oh, okay. Well,
aware
that's
of.
good to know.
Yeah. But in this case, I'm going to do a quiz with a right answer. And let me see. I'm just thinking about how's the easiest way to demo this, because there's honestly so many different like paths we could take to set this up.
Gotcha.
Because the bottom line is that we can trigger anything based on a tag, or though it's a little more complex, by a combination of tags.
Hmm.
And you'll notice that we can add a tag to a person when they select a particular answer, or we
Okay.
could also add a tag to a person when the action is checked off.
Okay.
I'm going to go with this one just for the moment to demo
Sure.
it. The tag we're going to add is completed quiz. And I'm just adding that right now, so it might
Just a
take a
quick
second.
question, Rachel.
Mhm.
If you're choosing this tag here when
Mhm.
checked off in a multiple choice action, what is considered checked off? If they check off anything, because in there it would be specific if it's right or wrong answer. So here it means that wherever they check,
The thing is that if they have a right answer, they can't, if you have said a right answer, they can't check it off with the wrong answer.
Oh, okay. Mhm.
Let me,
so this tag will only be given when the right answer is checked off.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
because if I have a right answer to a quiz, am I right about that? Now I'm like, wait, is that right?
Because I'm thinking if this is here, then
Mhm.
obviously this is specific, right? So you can give the tag
Mhm.
completed when the response is correct. But if you're doing it at the bottom, I'm guessing it belongs to the whole option rather than
It
right
does
or
belong to
wrong.
the whole option, you're right, and I'm just having a moment here because I'm not remembering for sure at this moment if it will
Mhm.
even allow the student to select done with a wrong answer.
Ah,
I'm blanking on that. So we can test that
Oh,
very
right,
easily and see.
there's a done at the end, yes.
There's a done at the end, and I am thinking that the student can't check done with it
If it's a
wrong.
wrong, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
mhm.
about 90% on that. We can check and confirm that. But you're right, Iris, that you could also put a tag right at the place of the answer. You could also create a tag that is specific to the right answer. So we've got a bunch of options here. One way or another, they're going to get a tag that they need that's going to confirm, yes, they got the right answer. You can test that in a sec. And once they have the tag, now we've got our starting trigger for an automation.
Okay.
So does that all make sense so far, Iris? And we can test it because
Mhm.
I'm not 100% on that, but
Yeah.
we know one way or another, they're going to get a tag that confirms they should get the certificate. And then we're going to create our certificate. And the way
Mhm.
to create our certificate is always going to be with these steps. We're going to go to step 5, where our automations live. To do a certificate, I'm always going to do create new, and I'm going to go create from playbook,
Okay.
because
Mhm.
this is going to set something up for me that is what I need. So create playbook, and I'm going to go to the completion certificate option right here, and I'm going to grab that. So here is the automation it just set up for me. Certificate of completion, triggered when or if course completed. Very first thing we're going to do is set up our trigger to be what we want. And to do that, I'm going to change the starting trigger here. So it's already got an experience name. That's good. I don't need to do anything there. Oh, actually though, if in Vivian's case, if I'm doing multiple certificates, I'm actually going to want to differentiate these. And this is really, really important because
Yes.
later when you're looking at your student's activity log and trying to figure out if something happened or not, you need to be able to identify this
Identify it. Yes.
really specifically. So
Right. Got that.
what do we want to call this one? Self-care something?
Certificate of well, just say introspective verification, just because that's part of it.
Perfect. All right, so here's our introspective verification. Love it. Our starting trigger is not course completed, which would be defined as all XPs in the course have been checked off.
Okay.
We can make our starting trigger whatever we want. We want it to be tag added.
Okay.
Another option we could do, oh, you know what? Vivian, I think this is your answer for your quiz that contains a lot of types of questions.
Okay.
We would make your quiz one training, just like we were looking at.
Yes.
The training can have 6 different questions, a multiple choice, an essay.
Oh, okay.
The
Okay.
multiple choices, again, I'm 90% sure we'll have to have the right answer for them to click done
Okay.
and get the XP point. Now, the essay response, they can just click it. Like if they've answered and given you enough text, they
Mhm.
can say that it's done.
Okay.
So there isn't at this moment like a verification. I want an AI tool to verify these and make sure they did a good job. That would be cool. But right now, if they've filled out the amount of text you want in an essay response, they can click done. So
Okay.
once they've gotten the multiple choice questions right and filled out all the essay questions in your training, which is your quiz,
Mhm.
that would be considered complete. And what we
Okay.
could do is we could trigger this quiz based on training completed.
Okay. Got it.
And it
Very
would have
good.
been this one right here.
Okay. Super.
So that's actually going to be the much easier way for your
Yes. So
case.
instead of having, you need to have these 2 actions done, then you can get the certificate. And Marie said it would be off one action. My one action is completing the training that will have multiple quizzes in it. Yeah. So
Exactly,
thank
multiple
you.
quiz
That's perfect.
questions.
Yay.
Great, great. If you like,
Awesome.
I'll real quickly, like, or there's something else, I'll go through the quiz setup super quick if you like, because that tends to throw people on the testing. And Iris, what else? Oh, Iris is saying goodbye. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I don't need multiple, let's see. It'd be multiple choice, but not like any wrong answer. It could be more survey-esque.
You could do that. You could do that
Yes,
too. Yeah.
yeah. So I won't have the problem. Oh, they got one right answer, and maybe some of the other ones weren't, and we don't know, and they wouldn't be able to get their certificates. So I don't have that complication to worry
Okay,
about.
gotcha. That right. If this is an introspective verification, that makes sense. You're just
Yeah,
having
so
them.
they're answering a
Yeah,
response to this question and a response to this question, a response to that one. But yeah, yeah.
perfect. Okay, got
No
it.
right
Yeah,
or wrong.
that makes
Okay,
sense. Okay, if you like, I'll run through like setting up the rest of the certificate real quick because
that'd be
sometimes
lovely.
that
That'd be lovely.
there's a couple pieces I
Mhm.
can throw you. So
I did shop. I did shop through the store, so I knew which ones I wanted to use.
okay, perfect. Good, good. You've got okay, great. You've got a piece in place then. So we've got the title, we've got the starting trigger. You'll notice that there are conditions here which are probably just fine on the defaults for your case, but I'm just gonna uh, have you note that they're here, that this is set up to be able to run once per student. If for some reason a student went through the course again a second time and like unchecked and rechecked the actions,
Okay.
not likely, but just know
Right.
you've got options here. So that is set up. I'm happy with how my trigger setup here. So I'm going to click update. we've got our new title here now, introspective
Yes.
verification, and we've got our new trigger when and
Mhm.
if training 1 is completed. Just note that it's turned off currently. We'll need to turn it on once we're ready to go.
Okay.
But what we want to do next is open up this automation, open up this pathway, and we're going to see these pieces were added by default from the playbook, and this is what we need. We've
Okay.
got a webhook call right here that we'll look at in a sec, and we've got an email that gets sent to the
Okay.
student.
Mhm.
There's one thing I just want to point out real here, and again, this is also just for the video because everybody misses this. When you are testing your certificate,
Mhm.
what needs to happen is the automation has to start, the webhook has to run, and then the email is sent.
Okay.
So these pieces are all going to happen, but this piece right here is what actually generates a certificate for your student.
Ah, okay. And
Something that
puts their
people tend to
name.
do is they hop straight to this piece because they see your certificate and then
Mhm.
they open it up and they click send test email. But that doesn't actually
Mhm.
generate a test certificate. That just sends an email.
Ah,
If
okay.
you click
Gotcha.
here in your test student, you'll get a 404 page. So
Okay.
where all the magic happens is actually in the webhook.
Got it.
So what you're going to want to do is click to open the webhook, and there are just a couple of changes that you, as the account owner, need to make. The
Mhm.
first one is just add the email address of your course creator account.
Oh, okay.
So the email that identifies, that tells the system like where to look, like what's even happening here.
Okay.
So you're going to add your email. You already went shopping and picked out a certificate,
Mhm.
and it has a number,
Right.
right? So you're going to just add the number of whatever it is right there. And in most cases, you don't need to do anything else. You'll notice that there are fields you could change, but we're going to test this in a sec. But since the certificate is already set up in a way
Yeah.
that works, you generally don't need to mess with anything else. You just
But
need,
if you were putting, like for this particular one, if there's some dialogue in it, I mean, there's dialogue there's default dialogue, but if I want to adjust the dialogue so I can say like what this is
you
in
can do
there.
that. Yeah, the thing to be aware of is that the certificates, let's actually look at the certificates real quick. So
I know there's not a lot of real estate, but I mean just a
exactly, there's not a
little
lot of real
paragraph.
estate.
Yeah.
You'll want to test it and just make sure what you're
What it
doing,
looks like. Yes.
because it also, like, the certificate you're using might not have used some of the fields, and so you
Yes,
might have
yes.
put things in a weird way. Not weird, but it just
I
doesn't
get you.
match
Yes.
the template. By the way, you
Aesthetically
can
not good.
always create your own custom certificate if you really want it customized with specific, uh, language and layout and all of that. And it's like $50 for most certificates. Our team will set that up for you, and there's some specific things that the team needs that you'll give us, and you'll have your own custom,
Okay.
your logo, all the things.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be that exotic. Just a little different paragraph. So
Exactly. And just so folks know what they're talking about if they're
Mhm.
watching. Oh no, actually it's somewhere else. The certificates are in the help center, so I'm not going to go there now.
Okay.
You chose your certificate,
Yes.
the one you want. So
Mhm.
yeah, you'll add it in, you'll add your account email, and once you've got this set up, then the other thing you'll just want to do is customize the email that gets sent to your student to notify them. And you don't necessarily have to do too much customization, but just know that you can open this in the editor and you can click into here and customize this to be your own wording. Make
Oh, okay.
sure you want to just be aware that every time we see
Course name.
anything with the little squiggly brackets, that is a token that's going to get filled
Yes.
in. So
Right. Got that.
probably you don't want to move that.
Right. And but it will automatically choose that student's email to send it to them. I don't need to go in there and put in the student's email, correct?
Exactly.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, in the beginning, that wouldn't be that dramatic, but after a while,
That,
into
yeah,
that.
that would be a lot if you did all the time. Exactly. Yeah. So this will all be customized for your student. Again, notice that here we have send test, but again, just a reminder, this is a test email. This is not
Yeah, it's not a test
creating a
webhook.
certificate. We want to
Gotcha.
always make sure that the email is set to be sent to the student. That's the other confusing
So
thing
I
that
should,
happens sometimes.
yeah, something that I didn't think to ask but wanted to do. So I should, because I'd like to put myself in there as a student with, I could
Uh-huh.
do it buying the course. I could set myself to have like a super discount just so I can say, oh yeah, the Stripe is working nicely, yay. And put myself in there as a student, I paid 10%, but just to watch that, and then take
Yeah.
myself through it so I can see it visually, so I know exactly what a student is going to be seeing. And it's like,
Highly,
okay,
highly
that's what
recommend.
I need to
Yeah.
do. That.
Really, really good idea to do that. And yeah, you can create a coupon that takes the price down to $1 is a great way to
Okay,
do this. And then you can just make sure the
great.
Stripe connection and the dollar goes to your bank account and all
Perfect, because
that.
I'm all very weird about the Stripe thing because that's all like totally new to me. So it's like
Totally get
I
it.
just want
Totally
to
get it.
test it, make sure it doesn't like barf on something. Yeah.
Completely. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you know how to create a coupon code and take it down to like $1. That's pretty straightforward. And then you can just
Okay.
purchase it yourself.
Good.
But yes, this will automatically send it to you as a student, and you'll just create a student account that is a different email address than your course creator account.
Yes. Perfect.
And the
Okay.
really important thing about this is that you just use a different browser when you're testing your
Oh,
student
good point.
account. Yeah.
Okay.
Because if I just FYI, if I went in the same browser here, I'm in incognito, but even still,
Even
if I
still, okay.
started working side by side as a student, my browser
Got
is
it.
going to try to be helpful and it's going to like
Mhm.
log me back into my admin account and things are not going to work
Gotcha.
as I
Right.
expect.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you for saying that.
So if you just have one browser you always use for your
Oh, I
student
have, yeah,
account,
a
and then you
couple.
can hop back and forth easy. Other option is to log out after every session, but that gets to
Mhm.
be a pain. So
Truly.
yeah, we've got your email set up. When we're ready, we will close that. Once we're all ready, we're going to make sure we turn everything on. All
Those
toggles
guys.
need to be green for go. And at this point, this is set up and ready to go. And as soon as any student checks off all XPs in training one, which was our quiz training, we will trigger this webhook, which generates
Okay.
a certificate, and
And
then
then
email the certificate to the student.
gorgeous. Perfect. And that's a
Just
training, and then my completion certificate for the other one, I won't be changing any of the settings or names of stuff other than my course name. It will be the final thing that happens because the verification certificate was a training, it's done. Or if they didn't do that, they didn't want it, if they didn't want it,
Mhm.
that would they could still complete the course by I could have a question that said, I don't want, would I, okay, there we go. So the verification certificate will be a training, and then the completion, the normal completion
Mhm.
certificate will be the absolute last thing. should they not want completions or not want to do the quiz survey? Um, can that be a question that they can opt out of it, or does that need to happen? Like if they don't want to do that, they can still complete the course without having done that one training?
Great question. Great question. Yeah. So the answer is always yes.
Okay.
I shouldn't say that. The answer to most things in XP are yes. It can get more complex the more complex you want to get. But the bottom line, you can trigger an automation based on whatever you want. So let's look at our next automation, which is going to be for completion.
Completion. Uh-huh.
Let me think what's the easiest way to do this. And I'm going to
Great.
talk through this as we go.
Sure.
So here's our actual completion certificate.
Hmm.
But once again, we can customize our starting trigger. By default, it's saying all XP actions need to be checked off,
Oh, okay.
but it could be anything. If it's kind of more lenient and most people, like maybe you don't actually need all um trainings checked off, but maybe the last training is where like a lot of really, important stuff happens.
Hmm.
I could trigger my completion certificate based on the last training or the last module. Here's a good way to do it.
Make the certificate a module.
I'm just thinking about this.
Okay.
I mean, and you probably already get kind of where I'm going with this. I'm just thinking through the different ways we could do it for you. We could trigger a certificate based on a particular module completed, so I could have everything except the optional thing in one module. In
Hmm.
fact, that's exactly what I've got right now. I actually have a module with my quiz and a module with everything else. So right now I could make this module the completion, but the thing with that is that it's going to complete before they get to the second module, which is actually the introspective quiz.
Okay.
Did I lose you there?
No, if it does that, but so that's something that could occur. The course is completed, and there's like this bonus module
Extra
or
module. Yeah, totally.
extra module. Okay, because
You
I
could,
know in your terminology of bonus in the platform, that's not a bonus because the
right,
bonuses
right.
all the time. Um, so it's just like an extra module, extra certificate module. I'm going to say so if it's a module that happens after the course is completed. Um,
That's one.
and now we just need to think of some verbiage
Mhm.
that isn't too long. If you'd like well, I will have explained that in the onboarding module, and I can explain that in pre-instructions for the last module. Um, so that's
Exactly.
that's something that could actually happen. It could actually be its own little thing
Could be
that
its
only need to be completed by itself if they wanted, but wasn't required for them to complete the course, which is actually perfect because
okay, okay.
I don't want to make them do it. It's a benefit for them, but
Mm-hmm.
having their survey and feedback is definitely a benefit for me too.
Mm-hmm.
I want
Mm-hmm.
to provide this for them, but I want to put it behind something
Mm-hmm.
so that I also get what I want.
Yeah. Yep,
It's how to make
yep.
training better and know what they think about it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay.
So it sounds like that could be a possibility. And just so
Yes.
you have kind of all the options you're aware of, you could do it again based on a specific training. Again, it could be based on tag. And this I'll just say, just to put it in your mind, this is the way that it could technically be anything you want, depending how complex you want to get with your internal automations, because we can set up series of automations that add tags based on other things completed. And at the end of the day, we can say, once they get tag XYZ, all the things are done. Now we
Okay.
fire the automation. So there's a lot of flexibility, but again, we want to think about how to make it work as simply as possible.
Yeah.
Not
So I think as the course will be the course and it'll have its certificate completion and there's this optional module to get this verification, introspective verification certificate. And that will have multiple trainings in it that are my survey questions and
exactly.
perfect. And when
Exactly.
and I
Yeah.
do the web hook and stuff like that for it, and then they will get their thing. That will be perfect.
Fantastic.
And for doing that, for setting that up that way, when in these little things of starting, let's see. So how did I set it up as its own separate module? Did we done
Mm.
the completion? I just want to make sure it ends up in there after the completion module and is optional.
Yeah, that's actually, so if we go back to step 3, which is where we set up our content and how everything structured, what we have right now is a module 1 with a whole bunch of regular trainings.
Mhm.
And what we actually were looking at just now was a certificate of completion, quote, unquote, that triggers when they finish module 1.
Mhm.
But then we still have module 2, which is just their, see how this looks so far, which is their introspective quiz.
Okay.
And obviously this is going to look
Different.
like
Yeah,
we want
okay.
it to look. It's going to have as many
Okay.
quiz questions as we want. And they can do that optionally.
Okay. Now, in the trainings, so that's how I think that's a beautiful way to do it. I prefer to do it this way. And in the training, um, like if I need to have more than one training in that module, if some of them are essay questions and some of them are multiple choice.
Um, you don't,
Don't
no.
have, it could be, it can be a mix of them.
It
Okay.
can be a mix. See, we
That's
only
great because
put
that would be less
one.
complex for them than having to go through multiple things.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good question because the terminology might isn't necessarily obvious here. Like
Right.
a
Mhm.
quiz is actually like the way it's used in XP is quiz questions.
Mhm.
So we could create a multiple choice quiz question followed by an essay response quiz question.
Mhm. Because I'd like to have like say 4 or 5 questions in there. A couple of them would be essay, well, a couple of them might be multiple choice, no right or wrong answer, and a couple of essay questions.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Okay.
those are
In one
all
quiz, all in
quiz.
one.
Those are all quiz questions of one quiz in one training.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yay.
Cool. Since you mentioned the feedback to you,
Yes.
just in case you wanted to, when somebody submits a, when somebody submits their quiz and gets a certificate of completion,
Mhm.
in case you want to be notified as well,
Okay.
you
Yes.
could set up another action in here. So right now, when this trigger happens, when somebody completes the whole quiz, we already have a couple things happening. A webhook generates a certificate. They're sent an email with that certificate. And we could add one more action, which is going to be send an email. So I just clicked email builder. And I'm going to give this a name of notification to me.
Okay. Perfect.
And I could even put some info in here. So-and-so has completed the introspective verification. And then again, I can just add this in here because this is triggered based on the student, right?
Mm-hmm.
Has completed the quiz. So I'm just going to set up an email, and over here,
Go to me.
we send that to me.
Okay, perfect.
Or if I want it to go to my VA, I can say
somebody else.
who I want
Okay.
it to be sent to.
All righty. That's lovely.
And then I save that. And again, I make sure that's turned on. So now when this is triggered, I've got a certificate, an email to the student, and a notification to me.
Gorgeous. Yay. Super deal.
How are we doing? Making
Doing
sense?
great. They're just ticking all these boxes. Well, figuratively, not these boxes in my brain. Thank you. Finally getting this puppy together. And I do have one other question. I've been so focused because actually I'm not a coach and a course creator and stuff like that. I'm an author. I'm writing
Yay.
children's novels. And when I wanted to find out what teachers might want in the teacher parent resource guides, I found out what all the teachers are going through. And I actually have, and from my experiences of, crises and whatnot, something that they can work to do. And that's what this is. So I need to
Mhm.
create this for it. So it's like been very hard for me to do this on top of everything else. But so I've been focusing on creating the course and getting all the pieces and then the right places in the documents and all that jazz. But what I have not gone in to do with respect to this is play to find out what kind of images and stuff. So can I just
Mm.
go in there? I didn't get to play in the sandbox. I was too busy writing the 2 books and doing this, creating the course. Um, so I actually have my whole lifetime account thing is already there,
Perfect.
but I
Perfect.
didn't sandbox. So can I go create myself like a 2 module little thing for myself to futz with so I can look
Ah,
at what the different images and the celebration
absolutely.
la-las are?
Yeah, just
'Cause I'm
create
sure they're
a
going to ask. There wasn't a question about that in there, and I thought, okay, I need to do that because that question's going to come up somewhere.
how to create images and things.
Well, you've got like libraries. I mean, I don't need my own fancy images, but
Mhm.
you've got libraries of different celebrations and cartoons and stuff, and maybe it's in. I thought that might be in Playbook, but Playbook seems to be maybe more just sections of things.
Oh,
As
gotcha. Okay, okay. Got it. Great, great, great.
like, is
So,
it going to be people shooting rockets, or is it going to be somebody like sitting writing at a desk? Just like just different kinds of things are
oh,
available.
gotcha. Perfect. Okay. So just to make sure, there's a couple different things we're potentially talking about here. When we're talking
Okay.
about, like, there's images for your actual course, like we
Mhm.
were looking at, if we were to actually like preview.
Yeah, I have a static module image that's like logo-ish
Okay,
that they're
okay.
putting in.
So gotcha. So we've got those, we've got images for each training action. There
Mhm.
are ways, just so you know, you can, everything is integrated with Unsplash, so you can search and pull free
Yes.
images, which is
Mhm.
really fun. But what you're talking about with the animations is
Like the
actually
animation
something
things.
different. That's
Yeah, I do
celebrations.
have. Yeah,
Yeah.
celebrations and any if there are other little imagey guys that occur just naturally because I'm letting them do the cartoons for the um what you call it's for the video images in the trainings. That's just your cartoon thing. But I know
Hmm.
there's probably different cartoons in there to look at. So that's what I'd like to go do is look at your
Okay.
images.
Okay, so a couple different things we're talking about here. So, you're talking about the default cartoon images, like right
Default
here.
cartoon images, yes, for there, and then your little animations if it's butterflies or cha-chings. I like the cha-ching, but somebody said, well, I get instead of confetti, there could be butterflies. I thought, well, I like the confetti, but if there were other things I should be just shopping through to see if I'm supposed to say something about them to
Okay,
the.
okay. So a couple different things going on here. We have default images that will be there if you don't use your own image.
Right, right, right.
These are the cartoons.
Mhm.
When you're talking about animations, those are celebrations which
An
can
event. Okay.
be triggered based on a trigger that you set up, such as completing a course, or rather completing a
Module.
training usually, or getting a certain amount of points.
Mhm.
And this is all in step 6.
Okay.
This is where you can go in and create a new celebration. And in here is, I think, what you're talking about, where you'd
Oh,
like to
yes, yes,
explore.
exactly. Okay, right.
So you can click into the celebrations gallery. You can also, you can select a background animation
Okay.
and a foreground animation. So you can set up, you can customize and set up a celebration right here. And then
Okay.
you can add that at any place that you
All
would
right.
like to add it.
And is there a cartoon gallery for the default images for the
Okay,
or
so
not?
going back to our
Like those
training
guys?
images you're talking about,
Correct.
there's not.
There's not. Okay, then I don't have to worry about that. Okay.
No.
Good. Alrighty, perfect. Okay, so I will just shop in the celebrations in. And I can create myself a little 2 module itty bitty course just to that's not going to get published and not going to go anywhere that I can just play in there with and look at how the different celebrations play out.
For sure. You're gonna
Okay.
go to courses, you're gonna click add new course. Just do a blank course just to
Perfect.
play in. It's gonna give you that.
Love the confetti.
And it's gonna be automatically titled your new blank course on
Okay.
today. And you're gonna click in it to open up, and here is everywhere we were
And just to go
working.
through my steps. Okay.
We worked in
Awesome.
step 3, we worked in automations,
And
and in here.
celebrations. Perfect. Okay. Cool deal. Awesome. Well, thank you,
Yeah.
Rachel. This has been just like private showing. This has been awesome.
Yay. Awesome. You got some stuff to play with?
Awesome. Totally. And so I am ready to rock. I send my stuff back to answer appropriately Marina's questions like, okay, I'm good with this and I'm good with that. Oh, thank you so very much. I very much appreciate your time. It's been awesome.
You are so welcome. Thank you for being here. Have a fantastic rest of your day.
Thank you. You as
See
well.
you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.